You stumbled upon this video. You stumbled upon a solid one. It's gonna be my first picks for UFC 324. And people have been trying to gaslight me into saying this isn't a good card. This is a solid card, man. Like it's not what I would have wanted for the Paramount debut. I feel like it was passable with Kayla and Amanda on it. Now it's a little thin, but like you're not gonna tell me that this isn't a pretty stacked main card. You're not gonna tell me that this isn't a pretty solid prelim card. And early prelims, half the people don't watch early prelims anyway, but like this is still a solid early prelims. Like I'm not mad at this. This is a solid card. I will not be gaslighted any further. It's a solid card. And yeah, let's get it started. First fight, Adam Fugitt and Ty Miller. I'll keep it a buck. I'm not going to stay on this one too long. I don't know too much about either of these guys. I did watch my little tape, did my little dive, but Adam Fugitt has fought much better comp. Islam Dulatov, Mike Malott, and Michael Morales is 3 solid losses, if you can call them that. So he'll have the experience edge. I feel like he has solid kicks, and he's a good size welterweight, which honestly Ty Miller hasn't really had to deal with much yet in his career. So it could provide a little bit of, an interesting matchup, but, Ty Miller's 6-0. We see this. And yeah, he's coming off a decision. He's kind of a decision guy. I don't expect him to get the finish. Coming off a decision win over Jimmy Drago wasn't really impressive, but it wasn't really like, I didn't hate it, But at the end of the day, Ty Miller is younger, he's faster, he's more athletic. And I still feel like he maybe has the power advantage slightly. And obviously he's on that run right now. So I'm not going to overthink it. I do think it's closer than minus 300, the odds. I think that's a little crazy. But I'm not going to overthink it. I'll say Ty Miller 30-27 or 29-28 decision. Second fight, Ricky Turcios and Cameron Smootherman. See, I don't think Turcios is that good, man. I don't think he's that good. They're both coming off 2 losses in a row. Turcios is 2-3 in the UFC, but both of his wins are split decisions. He just got smoked by Sopaj. 64-30 in head strikes is crazy. He couldn't wrestle. He's pretty much just aggressive, high energy, high volume, high pressure, and nothing else. Throws a lot of kicks, a lot of strikes from the bottom just to stay active. But yeah, man, I don't think Turcios is that good. Smotherman is coming off a decision loss to Ricky Simone, but that alone is more impressive to me than what Turcios has done, man. He was out-wrestled, but he outstruck Simone in rounds 2 and rounds 3. So that's not bad. That's not a bad look to me. He's a patient striker, pretty standard boxer, but he manages the distance well. He can survive on the ground good enough, and he has solid takedown defense. Definitely more KO power, I think. And he was 8-1 on an 8-1 run before his last 2 losses. So I'm gonna go Smotherman by unanimous decision. I think if he can keep distance and defend takedowns, like that's all he will really have to do. Don't get swarmed by hooks and don't get taken down, and he should win the fight. I think he's fought better comp and looked better. So I'm gonna go Smotherman decision. Third fight, amen. Josh Hokit versus Denzel Freeman is low-key a banger, and people are picking Hokit, thinking he's just gonna go out there and smoke him. That's what I want, and I'm still kind of gonna predict that. But this is a lot closer than what I think people are saying. Denzel Freeman, he has a Greco-Roman wrestling background, so I don't think he's just gonna lay on the ground and get punched like a lot of Hokit's other fighters or other fights have been. He has 4 knockouts. He has a sub, 2 decisions. And he won the heavyweight title in LFA. So that alone, I'm like, hey, he's fought a couple guys. Had a decision win over Bujlo on short notice, which wasn't impressive, but it wasn't unimpressive, you know. From watching his fights, he seems very dangerous in the clinch, and the striking in the last 3 fights have improved so much. I don't think Hokit has fought anybody on the level of striking as Denzel Freeman, like not even close. And Hokit, man, 28 years old, 7-0 with 4 knockouts and 3 subs. He was a collegiate wrestler at Fresno State. Also played football at Fresno State. Played fullback and tight end. So, we're looking at a explosive athlete, kind of heavyweight guy. Hasn't really fought a ton of comp, I'll be honest, but he was in LFA and Bellator. So, cans, but, solid cans, Very explosive heavyweight. A lot of high pressure, good level changes, strong ground and pound. Main concern, I would think, is he's undersized, and if we look at that reach, it's a little scary for heavyweight, But I think him being that size kind of keeps him explosive in the wrestling game, so I see both sides of that, but I do think size will be the main thing that could come in Hokit's way and slow him down in the future. But I think he has a lot of potential, man. A lot of potential. And, I think Hokit is gonna get the first round finish. I'm biased because I like Hokit. But I think first round finish. But, dude, if he doesn't get him in the first round, Denzel Freeman could make this a hell of a fight. And I think he could stretch it to a decision, because Hokit's never fought anybody on his level, and I think it'll be very interesting to see Hokit go against someone like this, but I think it's a good entrance fight for him, and if Denzel Freeman wins, that just boosts him up too, so it's a good heavyweight matchup, honestly. I think it should be an entertaining heavyweight fight, which we don't always get, so I'll take that. Michael Johnson and Alexander Hernandez. See, Michael Johnson has the 3 wins in a row, but none of them were impressive, man. Darius Flowers wasn't impressive. Zaitar got knocked out for the 3rd time in a row. Not impressive. Zell Huber fight, it could age nicely, but right now, Zell Huber just threw body kicks and looked very tentative, so it's like, I'm gonna have to wait on that one. I'm not looking at a Zell Huber win right now. It's like, oh shit, he beat Zell Huber. I don't see that really. But it's still 3 wins in a row, and obviously he's fought the comp, Barbozy, Diaz, Poirier, Habib, Gaethje. He's fought a lot of high-level people. He's still a crafty vet, solid footwork, solid hands, unpredictable, good counters. But I think he's going to get knocked out, man. I think he's going to get knocked out. Alexander Hernandez, he started 2-0, then went 4-7, now 4 wins in a row. Back-to-back knockouts. Good wrestling. Doesn't use it as much as he should, I feel like, but good wrestling, a good jab, good leg kicks, good movement. Not as good as Michael Johnson maybe, but good movement. And he's got the big, strong, meaty hooks, so I'm afraid he's going to catch Michael Johnson. He's just I think he's a more well-rounded fighter at this point in his career, and I think if he tries to wrestle Michael Johnson too, which I think he could, then I think that'd be the easiest strat for him, but I see probably a 2nd round KO, man, for Alexander Hernandez. That makes the most sense to me. Michael Johnson nearing 40, man. The chin is only going down, and Alexander Hernandez is kind of on a run. I mean, Michael Johnson is too. But I'm not going to overthink it. I think the big hooks are going to catch Michael Johnson, and I'm going Alexander Hernandez by, 2nd round finish. Prelims, good prelims, man. Good prelims. I'm not mad at the prelim card at all. Alex Perez and Charles Johnson. See, this is a weird one. Alex Perez is 1-5 in his last 6. Charles Johnson is 5-1 in his last 6. Perez has fought top level guys, man, and he's been really inactive too, which I think has hurt him. But if you look at the 5 losses, it's Almabayev, Tyra, Mokaev, Pantoja, and Figueiredo. I don't want anybody losing to 5 guys, but if you're losing to 5 guys, bro, that's the 5 guys to lose to at flyweight probably. And he looked good against Almabayev recently too. You know, he had good combos, good leg kicks. He showed good work on the ground, offense and defensive wise, I feel like. He just got caught in a guillotine, man. But good crafty vet is Alex Perez. But Charles Johnson, you know, the prospect destroyer. This isn't a prospect, so it's a little more of a toss-up, but I still feel like Charles Johnson pulls this out. You know, he's like I said, 5-1 in his last 6. He's on a really good run right now. And his one loss was Temerov, who had 5 knockout wins in a row, all in the first round. And I'm pretty sure Temerov was on roids. So, like, come on, like that's a strong last 6 fights. He has good striking, good range. You know, he's a tall flyweight. Good reach too. We're looking at that. Like, that's a good reach. So can keep the range. Definitely can control the fight standing. And I feel like he's gonna get the decision win, man. Like, Charles Johnson has never been finished, and Alex Perez's last decision win was 2019. So I don't see Perez going out there and knocking out Charles Johnson. I feel like Charles Johnson's probably going to win by decision 29-28, if I had to feel. You know, people forget, man, Charles Johnson knocked out Joshua Van. We're not going to forget that. People forget, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go Charles Johnson probably 29-28. I think Perez will steal around, maybe the first or the second. And then Charles Johnson will pull it out. Nikita Krylov and Modestas Bukauskas, man. I think Krylov's getting slimed, man. I think Krylov's probably getting slimed. I weirdly put like a lot of thought into this fight, but it pretty much just amounted to Krylov's getting slimed. Bukauskas 6-1 in the UFC right now after previously going 1-3 and getting cut. And he's had finishes in 3 of his 4 last wins. He hasn't fought the same skill level as Krylov, but he's 8-1 in his last 9 fights. I still think he's getting better too. Yeah, like, see, the thing about Nikita Krylov is he's only lost to pretty much high level guys. You know, he's coming off back-to-back knockout losses. Jan, Glover, Magomed, and Paul Craig. So, like, Paul Craig's kind of a throw-in, I'll be honest. But 5-6 in the last 11, facing top level comp. He's not fighting no cans. But I think the chin's gone, man. I think the chin's gone, and Bukauskas is really explosive. And I'm afraid he's gonna push him back and probably knock his ass out, man. I'm probably going to, you know what? Take my swing at it. Modestas Bukauskas first round knockout over Nikita Krylov. Amen. Amen. This fight right here, man. Ateba Gautier is crazy. Obviously, if you watched his most recent fight, bro, he knocked out Tristan Vines by pretty much just pushing him over, man. Bro just pushed him on the shoulder, knocked him over, and that was the fight. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it. He's pretty much fought bums, man, just straight jobbers. But he's looked good doing it, and that's really all you can do. 6'4". It says 6'3". I'm gonna call him 6'4". Freaking huge, man. Like, if you've seen pictures of this guy, like, I ain't going out there, man. I ain't going out there. Someone else is going out there to fight that dude, not me. He hasn't been tested yet, of course, but, like, I don't think this is the fight that's gonna do it. He's super powerful, explosive, got really heavy hands. Still very raw for sure, but very dangerous. He's training with Strickland, which some people might like, but I like that. And Roundtree Jr., and he's part of Manchester top team, so, like, and he's 23, man. Like, I think this is a guy at middleweight, man, for sure. Pulyaev, I ain't gonna take too much time on old Pulyaev, but he's 1-1 in the UFC right now. He lost to Christian Leroy Duncan, which honestly is not even a bad loss. Like, Leroy Duncan's looked pretty good recently. but he looked bad in the fight. Like, he didn't look good. He did not look good. And then he knocked out Nick Klein, who's like kind of a jobber, to be honest, low-key jobber in Nick Klein. He showed some good clinch work, good takedown defense. I think there's a small, tiny chance for an upset, man. Tiny. If only Pulyaev can get out of the first round. But I just don't see that happening. I don't think he has the chin or the striking defense to get out of that first 5 minutes. And I'm going to go by Ateba Gautier by pretty much however he decides, man. Maybe by pushing him over, shoving his arm or something. I don't know. He's going to go out there and just... He's gonna I don't know, first round knockout vibes, you know, early career plot armor vibes. Gautier, first round knockout, easy. Last fight on the prelims, which is kind of disrespectful, man. Kind of disrespectful. Like, I understand it, but it's kind of disrespectful. It's Umar and Figgy. You know, if you don't know these two, like, I don't need to go into deep dive about Umar, I don't think. 19-1, only loss is the decision loss to Merab in a title fight. So, like, that is what it is. His last performance was just okay, though. Like, the Umar fans were having you thinking that, like, he was going to go out there and just kill Mario Bautista. But he barely outstruck him and pretty much just won by the good old blob technique. Control decision win. 11 minutes of control on 11 of 14 takedowns. So, like, we know what kind of fight that was. He got dropped by Mario, too, it was a crazy knee. But honestly, he kind of ate that shit. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, that was a crazy strike. And he recovered so quickly. It's like it didn't even happen. It was a solid win, but again, like, not what the Umar fans said were coming. But yeah, sum up Umar, fast kicks, elite wrestling. Figgy, 4-2 after moving up to bantamweight, coming off that split decision win over Montel Jackson, which was, Montel Jackson pretty much just jabbed the whole fight, man. He didn't do shit. So, like, it's not a bad win. It's just, like, I can't look at that as, like, oh, coming off the Montel Jackson win. Like, but I do think to be fair, I think he clearly won rounds 1 and round 2. I don't think it should have been a split decision. But yeah, Figgy didn't look too impressive, man. He did not look too impressive. He had good leg kicks, solid right hands, solid wrestling. But I just don't think it's going to be enough. Figgy, he's the crafty, tested vet now for sure. But he's getting up there. I don't see much of a chance, man. Umar's younger, he's faster. And I think if he wants to, he can probably just blob him again. 11 minutes of control time, ass fight. I think it'll be 30-27, Umar. Main card, man. This is gas. This is like, bro, this is gas. You're not going to tell me this isn't gas. Okay. To start it off, Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. Man. I've gone back and forth with this a solid amount. Because part of me feels like Arnold Allen could outclass him. But I just think Silva's going to get him, man. I think Silva's going to catch him. Arnold Allen has a crazy chin. But he's coming off an 18-month layoff. And John Silva is just... He's a dog, man. He's a dog. And I think, he looked good in the Diego Lopez fight, too. He just got too aggressive. That's literally he just got too aggressive. Caught that spinning elbow from hell, But I don't think... I don't know, man. I don't know. To be fair, the Arnold Allen's most recent win against Giga, I think he I think he lost the first round to Giga and then was able to adjust and wins round 2 and 3, which shows me hope that, if he goes out there against Gene Silva and the game plan fails, I think Arnold Allen can adjust easier than John Silva can. But I just don't think he... You know what? The Arnold Allen chin, I'm going to say, will stand for at least for... it's just scary to say against John Silva, man. I don't know. We're going to go 29-28 John Silva. This is a fight of the night potential if it goes the distance for sure. It could be an early knockout, though, and then it's just an early knockout. But if this goes the distance, bro, fucking fireworks. Firework-ass fight, man. Amen. I'm gonna get a little crafty here. I know a lot of people have their feelings about the women's MMA, man, but this fight, to me, should be really entertaining. I think this has, in terms of women's flyweight fights, this has potential to be a really good fight to me, man. Natalia Silva is, dude, Taekwondo base, very good kicks, obviously, with the Taekwondo base, but good head movement. Surprisingly very solid on the ground, good submission ability, good takedown defense, very well-rounded, more than I think she gets credit for. And, she beat Jessica Andrade, then she beat Alexa Grasso in her last 2 wins. That's impressive. It's very impressive, and we know Rose, she lost to Fior recently, but that is aged pretty well. Then went 3-1, lost to Blanchfield, where she kind of got blobbed a little bit, but she looked good. She didn't look bad. Her jabs still has the good head movement, and now way more of a wrestling approach from Rose recently, which I don't like as much in terms of just viewing a fight, but I think it is a smart game plan. And I think if she does that to Natalia Silva, that would be the best path for a victory for Rose. But I think she might try to strike with her a little bit. And this is honestly a pretty close fight to me. I honestly don't even know what the odds are. I have no idea, but I think, man, Rose has been rebounding nice recently. But I think Natalia Silva's going to get her, man. She's younger, more athletic. I feel like she fits the 125 weight class at women's better, too. She holds it better. And yeah, I think as long as she doesn't get blobbed out and Rose just doesn't try to take her down for 15 minutes, then Natalia Silva should be able to just outpoint Rose standing. I think she's a much better striker than Rose. But I'm going to go Natalia Silva 29-28. Hey, man. Banger alert at heavyweight, man. This is going to be a really interesting fight to me. Waldo Cortes-Acosta has soared recently. Knocked out Deliha, knocked out the Blob Gaziev. Obviously had that whole eye poke thing going on. And yeah, man, Acosta's soaring right now. Very much like a top heavyweight prospect. And this is maybe the fight that could get him a shot at it. Maybe needs one more. But yeah, Acosta, man, just he's a former baseball pitcher. So this motherfucker, he got the fastball hooks, good footwork for a heavyweight. Quick hands, quick volume, controls distance pretty good for a heavyweight as well. And Derrick Lewis, man, I don't need to hey, man. So here's Derrick Lewis. I don't need to do that. If you've watched one Derrick Lewis fight, you know who Derrick Lewis is. In the last fight versus Talos and Teixeira, they got into a big meaty hook contest in like 5 seconds, and I don't know why you would do that against Derrick Lewis. Some people claimed early stoppage, but if you watch the replay, man, Teixeira was doing a crazy fence grab. It wasn't even a fence grab. It was a whole fence climb, bro. Bro climbed the fence to get back to his feet, so I'm not mad at it. Yeah, not too much to dissect with Derrick Lewis. He's got the heavy hands, he's got the big hooks, got the big overhands, and got that the ability to just stand up off the ground sometimes. But I don't think this is a go to the ground kind of fight, so I don't think that's gonna come into play much. He obviously does have the questionable gas tank, but he's also, always got the one hitter quitter in him. So I don't know. I think I'm leaning 29-28 for Cortes-Acosta. But hey, man, if Cortes-Acosta is smoking this dude for 14 minutes, that last minute, it's gonna be real nervous. If you got money on Waldo, man, I don't know. That last minute's gonna be scary. Derrick Lewis always got it in them, so I don't know. But I'm gonna go decision for Cortes-Acosta. I feel like, yeah. The new co-main, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This is a fun matchup to me. It's a very fun fight, and it's funny because initially it seemed like people were heavily leaning Sean. Then it seemed like it was pretty split, and now it seems it's going back to people leaning Sean again. And I mean, to be fair, I also lean Sean, but this is a very close fight to me, man. It's a fun matchup. O'Malley coming off the back-to-back losses to Merab, but it's Merab, so it is what it is. Getting submitted in the second fight, that hurt a little bit, but that's not how this fight's gonna go at all. That's not something that he's even gonna have to worry about. The striking still looked sharp, and he's not gonna have to worry about 4 takedowns a minute fighting Song Yadong. So I think as long as he can get his strikes off, stay standing, then I think it should lean Sean. And yet Sean looked better in the rematch, okay, against Merab, before he got dumped on his head and submitted. Which kind of makes people look at the second fight as like, he got submitted. But I don't think he looked bad standing. Like, he didn't look bad. Song, he hasn't felt the same level of comp as O'Malley. But if you watch the Yan fight, Yadong looked good. Yan on the feet was 99 of 183, and Yadong was 86 of 172. So it's like very similar numbers. I think if people think Song can't stand with Sean, I feel like that's stupid. I think Song can completely stand with Sean. I just don't think he has, like, I think the kicking game is where Sean's going to be able to win and going to be able to outpoint him on the feet. And I don't think, I think Sean O'Malley has fought people similar to Song Yadong. I don't think Song Yadong's fought anybody like Sean O'Malley. So that to me scares me a little bit too. But he for sure has KO power, Yadong. And he's a very sound boxer, and he's underrated on the ground. And I feel like that's his best pathway for victory, is if he takes the fight to the ground. But Sean, coming off of 2 Merab camps, he'll be ready for that, and that's not something he hasn't trained recently for. So I don't see Yadong just going out there, picking him up, dropping him over, and ground and pounding him. That's not what's gonna happen. I think Sean's footwork, movement, and kicking will get him the win. Song's underrated to me, and a very underrated grappler. But he's gonna need to work that in to win, and I just don't know if he's gonna be able to work that in. So I'm gonna go O'Malley 29-28, but also like, oh wait, no, this is the co-main, right? Will this be a five rounder? Am I a dumbass? They make that a 5-rounder? I honestly have no idea. If it's a 3-rounder, 29-28. If it's a 5-rounder and I'm a dumbass, O'Malley 4th round finish. Amen. Main event, man. I did notes and I did write-ups for every single fight besides this fight, because this one I just wanted to look at it. And it's the first thing that jumps out to me that's funny is when Paddy beat Tony. It was like, oh shit, well, Paddy beat a washed up Tony. It is what it is. And then when he beat Bobby Green, it was like, he beat Bobby Green. He looked really good doing it, but he beat Bobby Green. It's not doing anything for me. And then when he beats Michael Chandler, it was more 50-50, but it was still a lot of the same things. Like, oh, it's Michael Chandler, man. He doesn't have a chin anymore. He was never that good. He's old. He's washed. But Paddy Pimblett's also a significant favorite in this fight. And I don't not understand why, but it's scary because, dude, if you watch Paddy Pimblett's fights, like every single fight, pretty much, he'll get rocked, man. I think maybe besides the Green and Chandler fights, I think even in the first round of the Chandler got him with something, I think. But Paddy gets hit, man. Paddy gets hit. And that is not good when you're fighting fucking Justin Gaethje. So, I don't know. This is like, if you asked me a week ago, it was like, oh, Pimblett. But the last couple of days, it's a lot closer than I originally was thinking. I don't know, man. I think if Pimblett can get him down and can grapple with him in the first, second, third rounds, I think Pimblett could get him out of there. And we could be looking at like, oh shit, this guy is the real deal. But I also think if he doesn't get to the ground and he has to stand with Justin for the first, round 2, 3, then we could be looking at one of those Gaethje fights where he's just throwing meaty hooks, man. And Paddy has a chin, he says he won't get knocked out, but man, this would be the fight that it would happen if it was going to happen. I think Paddy Pimblett is going to go out there and submit Justin Gaethje in the second round. But fallback plan, Justin Gaethje 4th round knockout. But main plan, we're going to go with Paddy. 2nd round submission. I think if he can find a way to hurt Justin on the feet and drop him, then the submission will be there. And I think Justin will probably heavily underrate Paddy's stand-up, so there's a solid chance of that happening. So, yeah, man, 2nd round submission for Paddy is the final nail on the board. So, man, overall, if we're going to go back over it quickly, I got Ty, I got Cam, I got Josh, I got Alexander, I got Charles, Bukauskas, Ateba, Umar. And then we're looking at Gene, Natalia, Waldo, Sean O'Malley, and Paddy Pimblett. So those are the picks for the card, man. We're gonna see how it turns out. Hopefully I don't get, hopefully I don't go like 2-11, 3-10 or something. Hopefully we go more like 10-3. We'll see. Yeah, man. Those are the picks. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna catch y'all.